I opened up my gym bag, and what do I find inside? Actually, the better question is, what don't I find inside? Straps. Strap skis are gone. Not sure where I left them. I'm a very strong advocate for straps during your back day. It's going to help you from keeping your biceps and your forearms out of the equation, such that you can actually really just get your lats going. But not the end of the world. I think you're a little bit too much of a prima donna if you forget your straps and then you're like, I can't do my back day. I can't do it. I mean, come on, right? Just deal with it. So instead of my normal approach, which is typically, start with something heavy, a heavy pull down, a heavy row, and then maybe save some lighter squeezing sets for the end of the lift, I think I'm going to try it backwards today. So this is something I've kind of been doing for triceps, which I really like. I don't know if you can really relate to this, but for me, once my triceps are fully pumped, it's just something about it. Like I can't really fully straighten my arm. Like when I'm doing a push down with a rope, I can only get to like here or so, and I just don't want to flex any further. But when I'm fresh, when I'm cold and I'm not pumped, I can really squeeze extra hard with a rope or with a push down or with whatever else. So same thing kind of goes for lats. Once I'm fully pumped up, I can only really get so far. My arm literally runs into my lat and it's kind of cutting my range of motion down. So instead of starting with a normal pull down or row, I'm going to start with single arm pullovers. I'm pretty light, 30 pounds on the cable. And what I'm really focusing on is like, if I was doing a normal pull down or pull over with like a rope, I'd get to maybe here. This is like the max range of motion, hands on hips. But with single arm, apart from the fact that I just like the way it feels, I can pull back even deeper. So rather than just like good stretch, getting up to here, when I do one at a time, I can pull almost like behind my back. Now, whether or not that's like scientifically proven more effective or not, whatever. All I know is when I do it with moderate weight, moderate to light, and I really pull back all the way as far as I can, even just doing the motion here with no weight is already giving me a little bit of a burning sensation in my kind of lower lats. If you think if your back looks like this, kind of a triangle, I'm talking about right here in the middle, right where it's kind of coming in contact with the Christmas tree. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about there, then whatever. But let's start with one here. I might just do one. I might do a couple. I kind of have to go by feel. So if it feels sweet, I could do 3 more. If it feels like shit, I'll just move on. Okay. Fire. One more at least. Oh my God. 5. Oh my God. 5. Oh. One more. This is definitely a flexed bias movement. Like, I'm not feeling it way up here in a stretch position like I would in a pull down. I'm really just emphasizing that burn at the bottom. 1 or 2 more. I like this a lot. Goodness. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. I think that's enough there. Even just after 3 sets of that, I already feel like my lats are pumped to hell. I think let's move on to some kind of either row or pull down. I think this T-bar row should be a pretty good next movement. So before I hit it, when it comes to the styles of sets that you're doing in your workout, I think most of your volume should be straight sets. You know, pick a weight, burn out to failure, rack it for, 10, 20 reps. Around that range is cool. But I think people can overcomplicate it a little. Like, I think a whole workout of drop sets is too much. A whole workout of like supersets, I think it might be a little too much, like just unnecessarily. But one set, which I will never turn down, is a set with assisted reps at the end. I kind of wish I came in here earlier because this movement is perfect for assisted reps. Like, if I could have a dude sit here and after I do my first 10 reps or whatever, and he can notice that I can't pull it to my max height, then just a little inch of help, I love it. But don't have that at my disposal, so straight set it is. I might do a rest pause. So maybe I'll do like X number of reps, hit failure, rack it, take 20 seconds of breaths, and then burn out with a few more reps. I think that'll be good. So let's just pick a song to do it. And this is a weight which I can handle pretty responsibly. So I'm going to make sure I seriously squeeze at the top. This isn't a set where I just throw the weight around. I am going to be a little bit methodical with the first reps, at least when I can actually control the weight. Once I get fatigued enough where I can't hold it at the top, then I'm okay with a little bit of drop sets, with a little bit of partial reps, form getting a little bit sloppier. Not to the point of craziness, but you get what I'm saying. A couple partials, any means necessary. Okay. These reps will be a little more brutish. Okay. I think one more just like that should be pretty good. Couple of solid deep breaths, and then time for the hard part. Oh my God. Okay. I think that's enough here. Let's do a pull down. Okay, so a little bit of foreshadowing. I think I already have the finisher movement set up, but some pull downs first. This back day has been a little bit different for me. I think I'm using the weight very efficiently today. Like, I haven't really thrown around anything crazy, but pump and fatigue wise, this is pretty cool. And that would make sense. I mean, you got to think there's definitely a limit. Like, that's why I don't do deadlifts, because I need to do my best Mike Isertal impression here. The stimulus to fatigue ratio isn't desirable, right? If I do 3 crazy sets of deadlifts, I don't know what I could do. I haven't deadlifted in years, but sure, my back would probably be pretty pumped at the end of it, but my glutes would be firing, my hamstring would be firing, and I'd just be out of breath like a fucking, well, like I just ran a mile. I'm not even sure, I don't think I even could run a mile. So you see what I'm saying there? So I think this is, I don't want to say a metamorphosis. This is shit I've kind of always known, but over time, I think I'm becoming a little bit more of a refined lifter, right? I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm not so attached to the weight. Obviously, I've still got ego lifter in my heart, even if my brain thinks otherwise. That's probably why I still like curling 75s in the 80s and trying to bench like 4 plates, apparently like a fool, and hurting myself. So I think there's a point to going heavy, and you are going to get gains from that kind of stimulus, but balancing it out is probably a bit better for longevity. And this is shit I know. I'm just trying to, we all know when it's, something's good for you to do. We all know it's good for you to do homework, to fucking finish your shit on time. But sometimes putting it into practice is a little bit tricky. So either way, no more chatting. Pull downs, moderate weight. I'm not talking the whole stack. I'm talking 200. Squeeze hard, maybe do a drop set. And then maybe, obviously I'm gonna do at least 1 set, maybe 2, maybe 3. Who's to say, right? Again, I'm gonna decide that based on how this first set feels. Okay, let's do drop snatch back. Wide grip for this one. Oh my God. There. Let's leave it at that. That doesn't feel super good. Obviously a good set, but no need to do another one. Let's move on. We're nearly done. I think this is definitely going to be the last, maybe set or two. If the first set is really good, and I feel like after the end of it, I'm like, oh yeah, we're done. And that's like based on my, like how fatigued I feel, how pumped I feel, how hard I push the set. But basic gist, I'm going to say either, oh, that was enough, let's go check the pump, or let's do one more. But this has been my favorite finisher for probably the past month, 2 months. So, of course, pull downs, or no, pullovers for the first few sets, lat focused, pretty much only feeling my lats. Rows for the second two, more upper back, one set of pull downs, lats again. So at the end of back, I like the idea of sort of doing a movement that hits my whole back in its entirety. So I could do like I'd be fine with a set of pull downs and then immediately superset with a set of rows. Obviously I'd be kind of burnt out for that set, but at the end of it, my lats would be destroyed, so would my mid back. But I kind of like this sort of two-phase pull. Not even a pull, it's like a pull down slash row. So bench here, 45 degrees. I got a bumper plate and a 25 as spacers because since the weight is kind of, pulling me this way and this bench is on carpet, as soon as I grab the stack, it's just going to pull the bench. So you kind of have to add a spacer. But the first stage of the movement is up here. So real big stretch on the lats. And by leaning forward, since the cable's up there kind of above my head, this is like the stretch you'd feel in a pull down. But as I come back, I don't just sit here. I'm gonna lean back into it as well. So instead of just a normal pull down, it's like pull downs, stretch, and then a complete contraction back here. So that's just how I like it. Definitely worth trying. If you haven't done this before, I would recommend it. Usually I don't love jerry rigging shit. Like for the most part, I think you're good enough using what's available. Like you don't need to set up a really crazy fancy like preacher curl for dumbbells if you could just do the preacher bench with a dumbbell. I guess that's not a really good example, but usually the more complicated the setup, I don't think it's worth it. But something like this, I do stand behind pretty strongly. So 1 or 2 here, then lat spreads inbound. Ideally, so wide that it doesn't even fit in the frame of the camera. Ugh. 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 Okay. One more. Okay. All right. How'd that one look? Yeah. If I had a dude helping me with some partials at the end or some assisted reps, that would be nice. But still, oh my God, yeah, fuck. Even just flexing a little, they're burning. Let's check this shit out. Very satisfied with this lift so far. And I know the pump will be the icing on the cake.